It always rains when I go on an adventure.
Full throttle!
You're here by yourself, Llama. Where's Yehoda?
I haven't seen her.
Seriously? Don't tell Paimon she's ditched us on our first mission.
I don't believe so. Nefer and I have our differences, but that shouldn't interfere with our shared objective. Recovering the relic is my duty. But as far as she's concerned, there's plenty to gain here too. In Nodcry, it's common knowledge that the Curatorium has a nose for profit and opportunity. The same way aphids flit from flower to flower in a never-ending quest to make honey.
Huh. Sounds like you know her pretty well. Still, Yehoda sure is taking...
I believe we may have misjudged and underestimated.
Huh? What do you mean?
As a former employee of the Curatorium, I'm confident that she possesses both...
Huh? What was that noise?
The sound of a wavering conscience, perhaps?
Whoa! Something just fell down.
Hello, everybody!
What kind of an entrance is that?
I was just... Darn it. How did Jane Doe even notice me up there? I can't believe I'd only realized I'd run out of smoke bombs this morning. What if something thought I could just hang back and wait for the clients to get cold feet? But nope. Turns out they're all completely fearless. Don't they know how scary the Fatui are? Really sorry, everyone. Truth is, just as I was heading out this morning, I discovered Well, as Plan A is, we take a detour to Nasha Town to restock. Though, who knows if Plan B is... We call it quits right here. Personally, I vote Plan B. Bada bing, bada boom.
Don't try to solve your problems by running away.
Not a fan of either? Then I guess our only option is to
why didn't you just...
Come on, that would have totally ruined the surprise. Boss pulls this trick all the time, and it's always the clueless ones who end up praising her to the sky.
Feels like you just threw shade at a whole lot of people.
I have faith in your professionalism, Yehoda. You don't need those...
This Jane Doe sure has an eye for talent. You really mean that, Jane? Llama Doe?
I do.
I'll tell you what, it's not every day you get to work alongside such considerate clients. Plan J is this. We find our way in through the freight access on the facility's east side. It's tucked away from view, and security's lighter at night. I've prepared some special gadgets too, so we should be ready for anything. If we want this to go without a hitch, we'll need to work together every step of the way.
Now that finally sounds like a real pro talking.
Hey, you saying I didn't before?
Kind of.
You... Ugh. Never mind. A top-tier treasure hunter like me never lets the naysayers get to her. Alright, let's go over what we agreed on yesterday. The goal of infiltrating the Kuvaki Experimental Design Bureau is to locate and, if possible, recover the
We also need to figure out why they built the facility in the first place. I'm worried that they've set their sights on the ancient moon's remnants on Hisi Island.
Well, now that we've got a plan, time to get this show on the road. Everyone ready? Yeah, all right then. Go, go, go! But make sure you stick to the side. Just as I thought. There's a gate controlling access from the outside. Good thing, well, technically I stole it. But no need to tell them that, right? Blame that chump who thought it was a good idea to get wasted at the flagship during work hours.
Ooh, is it top-level clearance?
Of course, that goes without saying. Let me read it out loud for you. Fatui Experimental Design Bureau number 183574, maximum clearance, maintenance intern.
That doesn't sound very top-level to Paimon.
Never underestimate interns. Even the most legendary of thieves started out as rookie pickpockets, you know? Besides, if it wasn't for this person's selfless generosity, we wouldn't be able to just waltz in like this, would we?
Feels like you're trying really hard to change.
Allow me to teach you the first rule of treasure hunting. First and foremost, use every resource at your disposal. I get it now. It's like a pair of light bulbs just lit up in my head.
What is...
The blue light, aka Plan A, is telling me to take the path along the left side. It'll be a lot stealthier, but that might mean a bit of a detour. The red light, aka Plan B, is saying, just charge straight in. But that'll mean dealing with, like, a dozen. Although, I might be able to switch.
Can't you just put them in sleep mode?
Hey, I told you, I'm just a maintenance intern. Give the new recruit some time and space to blossom. We're still pretty close to the entrance. Anyway, I say we go with Plan B. Either way, I won't be—
If we can avoid fighting at this stage, we should.
Plan J is to call it a night so we can all make it back to bed before sunrise. After all, the deeper we go—
Well, all right then.
Just don't forget, whatever you do— Let's see. No kidding. Enough told me about something like this before. I can't believe that dumb robot actually helped me out for once. All you gotta do is this, and the recon bots will be reassigned to another position. That way, when it's time to move forward, the path will be clear. Which reminds me, it's about time I taught you the third rule of treasure hunting. Go with the flow.
What about the second one? Yep.
Huh? Did I? I mean, the second rule is exactly the same as the first.
Guess that's what you meant by going with the flow, huh?
This way leads straight into the armory.
Water jet!
Receive my blessing. For the everlasting forest. Leave this.
Water jet!
Forest? Poor lost lamb, by the frostman of old.
Bombs away! Water jet!
For the everlasting forest, lush as the moonlight. Forest, protect. Leave this. With one heart, we pray.
Bombs away!
You poor lost.
Someone up ahead!
Has the lockdown been initiated? Move it, soldier! The cargo has already been transferred.
The lockdown procedure is complete, Commander. That sector is now fully sealed.
The night shift. Just our luck. Don't they usually handle deliveries during the daytime? There's not supposed to be anyone here. We've come this far already, and they're really trying their best. If I suggest backing out again, it's not gonna look good. Come on, brain, think! The freight shaft to the upper levels. We might have a shot there. Let me see. Huh? Stay calm. Stay calm. One step at a time. Let's just find a way across first. Another control terminal! Don't worry. Bots are way easier to deal with than people. First, let's find a safe spot to land. Good. That spot shouldn't draw their attention. Let's go. Let me just try something. Maybe I can use the terminal to command them to move out of our way. Security verification? With 10 questions? Are you kidding me? You really trust me that much? Fine. But just to be clear, if I can't answer a question, I'm backing straight out of the terminal. Come on, Yehoda. You can't give up now. Question 1. What is our motto? Question 5. The name of the harbinger in charge of this facility. This one should be... the Pale Star Edict. I've heard one of boss's... Final question. Enter employee ID. And I actually got them all right?
Not bad, Yehoda. Not bad at all.
Hey, that could be my personal plan B if I can't get my job back. Just kidding. The Fatui are awful. The bots have taken the command. They're moving off. Didn't think they'd even cut off the supply of Kuvaki. If we can somehow divert some emergency power into the system, we might be able to force boot this thing.
What do you mean by force boot?
How do I explain this? It's like dumping a whole bucket of water into an empty pool so that the little ducky gets to swim around again. You should probably just ask Aino instead.
We just need to find that bucket of water, right? Paimon thought your explanation was great. Kinda adorable. In a childish sort of way.
just...
Here, bucket,
Judging from the concentration...
Wow! You can sense... Let's move the recon bots above them out of the way first. Keep the alarm from going off. Time to plug in the charging component. Running at last. Let's hope nothing else goes wrong. Please, everyone, step inside.
Oh, it's so dark in here.
Well, it is a cargo crate after all. No point in being picky about lighting at this point. Ah! Something sharp and pointy just poked me in the back!
Sorry, that was probably just my antlers. It's pretty cramped in here, so I had to crouch down.
Oh, having antlers must be inconvenient at times like these.
tell me something's gone wrong already. Am I gonna get docked for that?
Doesn't look like it's moving again.
I think we can get through if we follow the ventilation duct along the outer wall. The entrance has gotta be somewhere. Don't...
Looks like she slipped out at the very last second.
I'm so sorry! That was pure Anyway, you guys just stay where you are. I'll figure something out. Hey, there's a terminal nearby. Hang tight! Can you hear me now? The duct security...
Wait, so...
I'm checking what I can do from this end.
What laser? Oh, we see it now. Good thing we didn't move.
If I've got this...
Oh! Paimon thinks she gets...
But I can't see where you... Okay.
So, wanna grab dinner after our shift?
How about the flagship?
Too far. And besides, we're not exactly in with the locals.
Then how about the staff cafeteria?
brimming with bright ideas, aren't we?
We made it to the other side. And all thanks to Yehoda. Well, but the gate hasn't opened. How's she gonna meet up with us? Yehoda!
No irregularities detected in the duct. Confirm. Ugh, just confirm the command already, you useless excuse for a terminal. You piece of robo-junk, you mindless pile of scrap! What the? Insufficient clearance? Of course, I don't have the clearance! You Ow! Go with the flow, Yehoda. Go with the flow. If the others make progress, that's great. But you can't bank on it. You've never been one to depend on others. So it's about time you stepped up to the challenge. Deep breaths. Stay calm. My priority right now is getting my hand senior maintenance staff, which means there's a good chance there's a duplicate lying around somewhere in the control room. Even if I can't get into the control room myself, doesn't mean I can't rely on some external help. If I can take control of one of those guard bots, maybe I can use it to search for the access card. This is crazy, Yehoda! You're all alone. You've got nothing. And yet, you're charging ahead like fear's a foreign concept. Maybe that's exactly why. 'Cause I've got nothing left to lose! Confirm! Am I a genius? Whoa, this feed's super clear. This is gonna be a piece of cake. Wait a second. This thing's not a guard bot. It's a janitor bot.
You think Marionette even knows what we do down here? She seems to spend all day either holed up in her lab or out doing the rounds.
It's still a mess over there. Go clean it up. Why? Planning to skim a little off the top?
No, nothing like that. Just wondering if anyone would actually notice if we didn't show up from time to time.
There it is!
Hey! Why'd you stop? You haven't finished sweeping that corner.
But, I can see the car from here. Guess I have no choice but to swallow my pride and stay in character for now.
Sweep up the crumbs by my feet.
Yeah, good luck with that. What are you gonna do when they ask for a progress report?
What's wrong with this bot? Malfunctioning? Might be time to send it off for scrap.
Bottom of the steps. No slacking!
Sucks though. Finally sent somewhere warmer than Snezhnaya. Yet we barely get to see the outside world. Gotten rid of the dust behind the door yet?
Leave this.
Come on. Where's that bot passage when you need it? There! Oh, the terminal's just ahead.
But will Yehoda be okay?
Paimon!
She said she'd use every
So, they really do believe in me.
But how long are we gonna have to stay here? Paimon doesn't want to...
Does Paimon mean the two Fatui in that room? Let me see if there's a way to distract them.
Wait, did you hear that?
Huh? The alarm?
Let's go check it out.
This looks like somewhere important, but there's nothing here.
Hey guys! It's me!
Yehoda, are you okay?
I'm fine. I managed to swipe a high-level access card and triggered an alarm to draw the guards off. But we don't have much time. All right, looks like we can control the elevator. Come on, hop in. Let's... We should be able to use the terminal to move the drawbridge. Here's the access card. I'll keep watch while you handle the controls. moving.
There's no one here!
That's good news for us. Let's head inside.
Looks like a rest area for the Fatui's Oprishniki.
Huh? The terminal's still on?
What do you mean?
Well, it seems like that alarm I just triggered was...
And what's the bad news?
The bad news is that... So, we've got to move fast here. If you need me to run a quick search, say the word. Analysis of... It is suspected that there is a link between the Frost Moon Scion's hidden relic and the shattered remnants of the Eternal Moon. Come on, none of this is important right now. Just tell it access denied. Even with a high-level access card? Who does have permission that 264 pages? What?
Can we just skip to the end?
I'm flipping through it as we... Seems like the Fatui and Snezhnaya are trying to harness the power of the Light Realm to build some kind of weapon. Seriously? Insufficient clearance? Looks like that's about all our current...
Based on what we know so far, it seems I could sense something beneath...
If they've gotten their hands on the moon man...
And he... Chin up, Yehoda. Once this job's done, you're buying yourself the biggest nod-crying hot dog in town! Watch out for that defense bot!
It's aiming right at us!
You'll have to use Kuvaki to deflect its attacks back the way they came! This is not the...
Oh, Forest, take my broken crown. Approaches.
finally down. Quick, let's hurry down to the lower level before we're spotted. That switch looks suspiciously obvious.
Hey, you spotted it first.
Not a chance. I'm just the guide, remember? Atmo, they don't seriously think pulling this thing's gonna lead to treasure, do they? Besides, I didn't even bring my smoke bombs. Which reminds me of... the ground. Wait, did the...
surface of the water?
This is bad. This is really bad.
Don't worry, Yehoda. You've helped us so much. If they try anything...
Oh, come on. I was just kidding. I'm tough, okay? Just haven't had the chance to show off my fighting skills yet. Me, afraid of the Fatui?
I suspect the relic is hidden down below. Yehoda, your commission ends. I am truly grateful for everything.
I'm coming with you. This has nothing to do with the commission or the danger or whatever. This has already gotten way out of hand.
Aw, she's blushing.
Hey, zip it. Why'd you keep staring? Oh, you looking for a knuckle sandwich or what? Oh, come on, move it on.
Deep down here. What is...
We're standing on another fragment of the ancient moon's remnants. So this was the source of the Kuvaki I sensed earlier.
Wait, what? So the Fatui... Yehoda, you've... encountered...
What? Me? Have I? We're doomed! Oh, my grappling hook's not nearly long enough. And if some... No, please, no! We finally made it here, and we're so close to getting the job done! I didn't risk my...
What happened? Why did the
How could this be?
Huh? Lauma? And... you guys...
Wilhelmina? What?
Looks like... there's no point trying to hide it anymore.
What are you talking about?
I thought you might come, but I didn't expect to see you here so soon. Forget it. The moon marrow isn't here.
You...
Yes.
When?
The day I could no longer bear to live a lie. At first, the Fatui wouldn't accept me. Lost them again. That harbinger told me to follow the blonde traveler who might visit the Frost Moon Scions. Easier said than done, though. The animals are on alert at night. If they see me, Llama will catch wind of what I'm doing sooner or later. Am I really doing the right thing? No. It's too late to turn back now. The empty prayers, the stubborn displays of faith like Cappy's today. This isn't the life I want. Huh? Is that... the Traveler's back. I won't let her slip away this time. Wait, who's that with her? They look so alike. They've opened the secret. Wait a second. Surely they're not after the moon marrow. I'd better go. Hold on. If they do actually make it to the final room, then maybe. If someone's going to take it, it might as well be me. Yes. And in your...
And then you gave it to the Fatu? But when we talked to you before, you seemed so
Because I thought she was as fed up with the Frost Moon Scions as I was. We grew up together, Llama. I know you were chosen to be the next Moon Chanter when you were just a child. They never gave you a choice in that. I saw the look in your eyes when you were treating that child. That if our prayers are never answered, then why keep praying? Or...
So those are your reasons for wanting to leave the...
Isn't that reason enough?
When we pray to the moon, we do so to show our gratitude for the life it granted us long ago. But I know that's not what you want to hear.
I knew it. You don't want to be the Moon Chanter, do you?
No, that's not it. I'm talking about the fact that the moon in the sky isn't real.
What? You're saying...
I've completely lost the thread now! Oh, do we really have to do this here? What if a Harbinger shows up? Oh, I'm not cut out for fight.
The pain you sensed in me was the pain of hiding this truth.
If what you're saying is true, then you already knew that the Frost...
You don't understand, do you? That's the difference between us, Wilhelmina. I care about the Frost Moon Scions. They're family to me. It hurts because I care. And that's why I chose to hide the truth. My family deserves to know the truth.
Are you trying to say that I only ever cared about myself?
There's nothing wrong with that in itself. No one would have tried to stop you from leaving. But you did not have to stab us in the back like this.
We've been spotted!
I knew it. I just knew it. Oh, what now? If a Harbinger shows up, I'm out of here.
Looks like I misjudged you, Llama. I didn't think it turns out. You are a great Moon Chanter after all. But you were right about one thing. I haven't considered Hisi Island my home for a...
Bosses! Time to go.
I will change the Frost Moon Sun.
And I kept saying, Llama...
May their antlers be shorn with silver blades, and let them be cast into the long night.
I have honored the ways of the Frost Moon Scions. There they are!
Grandma?
Marionette has the moon marrow. Don't flatter yourself now. I'm not trying...
coming from the experimental. Hey, wrap things up and get yourselves ready.
Yes, my lady.
Perfect timing. This
Bosses! Esteemed clients. Sure you don't want to consider heading home first and...
a little ahead of schedule, aren't you?
Oh no, it really is a harbinger this time.
Marionette.
So you are here after all. You mean that thing your antlered turncoat brought us? I have never much cared for trophies given up without a fight. But
I'm not in the mood for warnings today.
Ooh, how frightening. Had I a Trimble function, I'd have rattled off at least a dozen screws by now. Or perhaps I've just set my sense of humor You don't honestly believe you're Go on then. Hey, didn't you hear me? I said let's serve our guests a little... What's going on?
Oh no. Watch out. It's the Wild Hunt.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch. Teamwork is strength! Pyroclastic surge! Rise with the sun! Busted! Everybody stand back! Light of the blazing sun!
These things just keep coming! Isn't there anything we can do?
Burn it down! Let's light it up! Bring it! I'm going in! Gotcha! Game's up! Fun's over! Pyroclastic surge! Teamwork is true! Quietly now. Blast from the skies!
Use that device to steal them away!
Things are about to get dicey. I'm going in! Bring it!
Is that it?
At least that's what the Lightkeeper's Handbook says.
Careful.
Paimon! Lauma! Yehoda! Wait, what was that?
Lumine, over here!
Ether!
Quick, grab my hand! Lumine, what's wrong?
Why are you here at all, Ether?
What do you mean?
If I may be so bold, what?
Why were you after the Moon Marrow that night, Ether?
Among those who entered the final chamber,
We can talk about that later.
Tell me why, Ether.
You know, this is only the second time we fought together.
No.
Lumine. But when I found you, you were still in hibernation. Even the key to the chamber was still secure on your person.
We didn't wake up together.
What are you talking about? We don't have time for this, Lumine! Look at me, Lumine! Don't you want to explore this? You think I'd lie to my little sis? What a letdown. Go get it from me, Lumine! It belongs to me!
I never believed it. I didn't want to believe it. That strange feeling that something was off. I wanted it to be real so badly, even if it only lasted a moment. But you're not my brother.
The cold night should be our blessing, yet only confusion and sorrow remain. The truth may yet lie beyond the sky, but must we become lost because of it? Standing before you, as a scion of Hyperborea and the Frost Moon's emissary, I say this. Should the false sky above dim the light of the moon, then from silver blood that flows as rivers, let us weave moonlight anew.
I saw my life flash before.
Are you all right, traveler?
Well, that took you long enough. Seriously, how many of you are there?
Oh no. Oh, I spoke too soon. Totally forgot we still have a harbinger to deal with.
Is that the moon marrow? It was hidden inside that big robot of hers all along! But that robot... That's Polonia to you, not just some robot! Take it and get lost. Huh? You're just... giving it to us? Well, I wasn't the one who put out the order to find this thing in the first place. So if someone wants it, they can help themselves. Maybe even choke on it. See if I care. So, are you waiting for me to change my mind or what? I'd be more than happy to pick up where we just left off.
Let's go.
Fine by me. Totally, completely, absolutely on board with that. It's finally over. If that doesn't make the most thrilling commission.
Looks like...
Loma?
I'm all right. It's just been so long since I truly felt the power of the moon.
I thought I sensed the wild hunt nearby. Don't tell me you've already taken care of it.
Hey, it's Flint's! Hey, he's that Ratnik.
Unless I am mistaken, you are the Moonchanter of the Frost Moon Scions, are you not? Please, don't get me wrong. I've been tracking the wild hunt lately, and I've come to suspect that its actions aren't as aimless as they might seem. When I saw what you were holding, I could not help but start connecting the dots.
You better be extra careful, Flint. It seems like the wild hunt is capable—
Oh, is that so? Funny that. I just showed up completely out of the blue, yet you seem to have no— I apologize. I shouldn't be making jokes like that right now. Anyway, I understand. Thank you for the tip-off. It seems that the wild hunt has somehow changed in nature. I'll have— For now, let us part ways here.
Joke of his just now sure scared the bejeebies out of Paimon. Are all the Ratniki and Nokrai like that? They're usually stationed in remote areas and tend to keep to themselves. So, it's not surprising they end up a little eccentric.
No, he's different.
Really?
The animals. They've told me they're afraid to even go near him.
Oh, you're back.
Boss Neff, you wouldn't believe how scary our day has been! Seriously! I am never, ever taking random jobs—
Oh, come on now. You even faced the wild hunt and lived to tell the tale. What's left to be afraid of?
Wait a sec, how did you— Oh, right. Like you told us before, your business is dealing in information. Huh? Boss Neff, the teacups. Why is there one missing? Did you—
My. How could you think that of me? You know the rules. If a member of staff wants tea, they pour it themselves. You're—
member of staff? Does that mean you're accepting me back?
Wasn't that the deal?
Boss Neff! You're the best boss ever!
You never change, do you?
Nefer, that medicine we discussed before, the one for congenital Kuvaki sensitivity.
And how do you expect me to find something like that for you in the middle of the night? You'll have to wait till morning, at the very least.
I need it right now.
All right. I'll see what I can do. But you know urgent means extra—
Thank you. In a good way?
Who can say? I'll take it either way, so long as you don't start making a habit of asking me for ridiculous favors.
Traveler, Paimon, A lot has happened these past few days. I don't know what I would have done without you.
Hey, don't mention it. That's what we're here for.
You're right.
Tonight? Isn't it?
The moon shines brightly this night. What better time for the Frost Moon Scions to usher in a new dawn for truth? Thank you for your kind words. But before I do, there's one more.
Oh yeah! Now that we have them.
You'll have to forgive me. I used too much of.
That's fine. We're gonna be a knock-right for a while anyway, so there's no rush, right?
Thank you. But there's another problem. How to keep.
Huh? Can't we just return it to your secret chamber?
The seal has been broken. Even if it were restored, now that the Wild Hunt has gotten in one.
Oh, right.
Back when the Frost Moon Scion's bloodline still ran strong, but it is a grueling trial of will and endurance. The Moon Chanter who did this only lasted 2 days. As for me, I might be able.
Hold on. You'd be using.
Yes. You can think of it like dropping a red-hot ball of iron into a bucket of water. How long the water lasts depends entirely on the bucket's. Pardon?
Hey! That's not a bad idea! You've always held up pretty well against the abyss. Surely the Moon Mare can't be any more. But we're out of options, aren't we?
All right. Well, I'll be right by your side. Here, hold it in your hands. Feel its power. Imagine you're a lake, a cluster of stars. Let the moon become a part of you.
Whoa!
How is that? Are you feeling any... Astonishing. Not well. Looks like we won't have to worry about the Wild Hunt.
Phew! Paimon knew you have special abilities, but still, you never fail to amaze.
Did I miss something just now?
Yes. And it was nothing short of a miracle.
Not something I'd be interested in then. Anyway, here...
Thank you, Nefer.
Please stop being so nauseatingly friendly. It's creep. So, what exactly did you all go through during that Wild Hunt attack? I'd prefer to hear it straight from you. A phantom that can mimic the appearance of others. Quite different from what we've seen before.
Yeah, and both times it appeared, its goal was pretty clear.
And on both occasions, it was accompanied by the Wild Hunt.
I must say, I don't often see you...
Too late in the day for thinking, that's all. We'll pick this up again later. You all feel free to keep chatting, though. Just don't forget to lock up when you leave.
On that note, Traveler, please, we'll take it back off your hands as soon as the Wild Hunt's been taken care of. Once and for all. Now that's what I'd call a joke. Anyway, if the two of you will excuse me.
Hey, we're coming with you! Though, guess we won't be able to do much more than cheer you on from the sidelines.
That alone means more to me than you could ever know.
What's going on?
I'm not sure.
It seems like
I heard the relic's already been retrieved.
That's our Lady Lauma, all right.
Noble scions of the Frost Moon, my kin beneath, I hereby declare the truth to you. Long have our ancestors looked up to the Frost Moon, guided by her serene light.
And so, Lauma began to reveal to the Frost Moon scions a truth long hidden within her heart. A story of a false moon.
Kutar was indeed born of the moon. But that does not give us the right to reap without sowing, nor clothe ourselves without the toil of weaving.
As she spoke, some who listened were stunned into disbelief, while others seemed to awaken as if from a dream.
From this day forth, the road shall be paved with truth, and we shall pave it.
After everything Lauma said last night, Paimon wonders how... Still... Hey look! It's Lauma!
Welcome, both of you. The animals were most lively this morning.
Nothing too dramatic happened, did it? No one took it so hard that they went on a binge-eating rampage and ended up cleaning up the whole pantry? Or something? Hey! Paimon's just trying to lighten the mood.
Thank you for your concern. Change doesn't happen overnight, and new ideas need time to take root. But nothing as extreme as that has happened.
Although what?
Well, just as I thought might happen. Confusion, frustration, helplessness. I saw it. I respect their choice. May they carry the Frost Moon Scion's blessings far and wide, should they be willing to do so. If we meet again someday, perhaps we will be able to sit together and ship. Others sought me out afterward, though, and thanked me profusely for sharing the truth with our people. They said they used to see me as distant, even somewhat unapproachable, whereas now I seemed much closer to them.
Sounds like a win overall! Paimon thinks you did the right thing, Lauma!
Thank you. Though, I wanted to ask, do I really come across as distant?
Well, maybe just a little. To people who don't know you.
I see. That's a bit of a hard one. My antlers tend to grow under the moonlight. It brings me comfort to hear you say that. By the way, how has your I'm glad to hear it. I've also suggested to Nefer that we meet within the next few days. We need to, but for now, I want to enjoy this feeling a little longer of finally living on the bright side of the moon.